At the very least, the map, we know the map. It is Newkirk Precinct. And in the bottom left position as the Red Protoss player, I guess one of our, feels weird to be already saying one of our potential last hopes for Root Gaming. It is XYZ, inventor of the Penguin, which is his signature diving board move when he goes swimming.
Cool fun facts from Root, guys. His opponent in the lower right, though, on a bit of a hot streak right now and looking to actually play pretty normal. It's the pink Protoss player, Venus.
Good point. He didn't send out probe at the start of the game. Very different than the last two.
I still would be really shocked if Succeed didn't scout, though. I mean, even if, like, he might be also like, look, he just proxied two games in a row. There's no way he's doing it for a third, but still, safe than sorry in every matchup. It's kind of like the mantra of StarCraft 2.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add to that.
Well, actually, what I should add, because we didn't get to talk about it before, guys, the lovely people putting on this event for you are Showcraft TV. We are Base Rate TV. We're broadcasting this. Nathanius from Root is a guest caster, and I love that he's here. Big thanks to him for showing up for this, but Showcraft TV is where it's at. They're brand new. This is their first event. They got plans to do a lot of North American-based show matches. So I don't know if the times will always be North American late evenings. They may be, as they tend to be. But for the most part, you'll see North American players on one side of all of these show matches, if not both. The goal is to breathe some life, even if it's just through a couple $100 here and there into the North American scene. So big love to them. You can find them on Twitter at ShowcraftTV. Their website is showcraft.tv. And it's not like, the thing is, I wasn't asked to talk about them at all. I'm just so grateful that they're doing something for the North American scene. If you're a StarCraft fan, you know how starved out and like needy the North American scene is right now.
Yeah, every little bit that supports players in the American scene is a big deal. And we actually had XYZ do a very thorough check of proxy locations. He scouted out his whole main base. He scouted out the entire natural, even the upper left base. He absolutely did not want to get cheese, and now he comes in and scouts like, okay, we're playing a normal game here. But this map, the airspace, it's pretty short rush distance both ways. I do wonder if we'll see that Stargate style again from Venus.
I wouldn't be surprised. And there you go. Nice call, Nathanius. Immediately coming down. Phoenixes are so good. Like, they just really are right now. And a big part of it is because, as we saw earlier, they're not easy to deal with. You can deal with them, but hey, Succeed may be doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I can't blame him, but this is where things get a bit funky. Venus should be able to scout out this Stargate. XYZ, well, Succeed actually did not see Venus' Stargate, and Venus sees his. So this is where things get weird. Whether or not Succeed wanted to open up with a very fast Oracle or Phoenix. In fact, he just cancels it. I was about to go into just how bad Phoenix versus Phoenix gets, but he scouts that he canceled it.
Well, this would have been really good if he didn't scout that cancel, because as we saw, Succeed just threw down this proxy pylon. Like, if this had been a quick DT swap, or hell, even Blink Stalkers out of this and gone unscouted, Venus was thinking it would be Phoenix's, Succeed pretty much would have won this game. But sadly, that got scouted. And it's not going to deter what Venus was doing at all, but now he's prepared for it.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. When you're trying to play mind games, they usually work best when your opponent doesn't realize they're happening. So knowing that this Twilight Council is here is a huge plus, and most people generally agree that when you do blindly go for something like Blink versus Phoenix, you're ahead, or at least you have an advantageous build because you have so many units that shoot up. No vulnerable sentries, I should say. But in this situation, knowing what he knows, Venus is going to get a robotics facility. I feel like these Phoenix will be purely for harass, and he's just going to try to go straight into Immortals by the time the Blink's done.
This is Venus, man. I want to see more of you. I don't care if it's like a weekly tournament or a big thing like WCS. Venus, where have you been? Because you do some really cool things, man, and there's very few Protoss players who I go like fawn over. Puck is definitely one of them, but Venus is kind of becoming another for me.
Yeah, he's going to be another one of those killer Koreans that Quantic's got. We really haven't seen. I mean, obviously, we haven't really seen anyone other than Venus in this match, but I haven't honestly seen too much of Center either.
Ooh, this is. Well, hang on to things. This is really ballsy. He's actually chosen to move out, and this is actually going to work well for him because there's only 4 Phoenixes now. Actually, this is actually
he has the photon overcharge though.
I don't think the Mothership Core is way too far away at this point. It actually doesn't have the energy. There's right now.
Oh, you're looking at Succeed's base. I'm like, well, there's a lot of Succeed has a lot of.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was obsessing
units.
over the Phoenixes, thinking they would kill every single probe in the base because there's nothing here to defend it. But
I feel like you want to keep, he spent a lot of his energy, but I feel like you need to keep some of your energy on your Phoenix to hold this push, because if XYZ forces the photon overcharges and then just waits, eventually he'll have more units, right? And then we could have a similar situation to the game between Venus and Minigun, where he overrode the Immortals. And he does pick up one of the Stalkers. I do like this play. If you can pick them up in range of the photon overcharge, it's so nice.
And continuing to stay in the range, does blink out when he realizes this is getting low. Trying to go for that one Phoenix that had almost no health attached to it. 10 health on it. That is rough to see.
Yeah, this is an interesting position, and I don't want to say who I think is ahead, because the last time I did that,
it's Protoss versus Protoss too.
Yeah, you got the Immortal Snipe. It's PvP. Literally anything can happen. Having Immortals versus Stalkers does not guarantee you anything. But those Phoenix are going to make another run back towards the main of XYZ, and there's quite frankly nothing here to protect these probes. They're vulnerable.
And ever so, he's going to lose about half of them here. Actually, not quite with the energy to massively pick them up, I guess, after that fight at home. But this is going to allow the Stalkers to move forward.
Yeah, these Stalkers can do so much damage. It's the really nice thing about I guess the really dangerous thing about using your Phoenix energy is that if you kill these probes off and your opponent can get a large number of units, you know, those Phoenix, they suddenly can't pick up all those Stalkers. Even if they can't kill them, picking them up removes them from the battle. So it's very weird, because there's a very low unit count for Venus. He's purely relying on these Immortals to hold this push.
Yeah, the photon overcharge is still ringing in, so it's going to fire away on a couple of these units for now. I don't know how that's in. Oh, it's on the Mothership Core. Okay, see, there's nothing that should be in range of it, but the Mothership Core is going to go down. I don't think Succeed realized it was in range, but he's taking out the Immortals. Yeah, so it's going to be worth it in the end, but still, this push is going to... Actually, there's no follow-up overcharge.
That's it. There's just an Immortal, a Sentry, and a few Zealots. The Phoenix are coming back, but do they have the energy they need to lift everything up? They pick up one of the Stalkers. We'll be able to kill it.
Looks like they will be able to.
Gets lifted up. More units being whooped in for XYZ, though. If he kills off this last Immortal, I don't know that Venus really has too much to stop this.
The Immortal is hiding so perfectly, though, behind these units, so the Zealots can't get in there. And right now, XYZ, he's really focused on those Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's so weird. So many of the Phoenix have very low energy, but, you know, it's only 50 to pick up units. Time is on his side.
But Nathanius, behind this, XYZ has his expansion up. He's going to be able to start to afford to throw away these units. Not that he wants to, you never do want to, but he'll be able to get away with it if he starts losing them to the Phoenixes.
That's actually a very, very interesting point. Yeah, he does have that expansion, so technically he could just try to go for a soft contain now.
Yeah.
Just sit out here, force field his opponent in his base. He has 3 sentries, and that's pretty much going to lock him in until he either tries to bust out with lift ups on the Phoenix, or maybe even just forces out Colossi because he just wants to force field. But no, he is going to retreat now, finally heading home. So yeah, he's got this double pro production going, and he even has the Templar Archive, so he could get out some Templar and try to feed back these Phoenix, which would actually be pretty sweet. Or at least get Archons, which are, you know, they obviously can't be lifted up because they're massive, but more probes are being picked off here.
Yeah, and let's not forget, too, the Archons, well, they don't get the bonus damage because Phoenixes are not biological, they do splash. And Phoenixes, as we've seen multiple times today, they clump up a lot.
A very, very good point. And it's just solid anti-air to have all around, because the Immortals don't do bonus damage to the Archons either. And here he is. Venus has moved down to his natural. He has 3 Immortals. The real question is he going to commit? Or is he going to expand? Because he does know about the expansion of XYZ. But XYZ's got an Archon now. He's going to start getting more of those beefy units. And the more time he has, the more time he has, the faster this expansion pays off. So he's got a probe with this army. Looks like he's moving out.
And let's not forget, too, there's 3 Immortals. That means he's going to one-shot the Stalkers. It doesn't matter how good your Blink Micro is. There's no projectile to dodge on an Immortal. So XYZ is certainly going to lose Stalkers. There's no question about that.
Yeah, this is weird. And he can also Blink Micro. Very important to note. There's another Archon coming in. I feel like XYZ really doesn't want to have this many units in his main, though. He has 2 Archons and 2 Sentries, or 3 Sentries, just sitting in his main base. I feel like he needs everything to hold this push.
He scouted this with the Zealot, too. And even the Phoenix coming at home sees there's nothing sitting. He has to know this is outside of his base.
Yeah, I feel like he really needs these Archons. Is there no I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, his Mothership Core got picked off by the Phoenix as well.
No.
Okay, now he's bringing everything else back. The Force Fields don't matter because of the Archons here. He's even pulling the probes.
Probes are actually really good against Immortals. A lot of
down.
people forget this, though. The Immortals are actually going down pretty soundly, but the Phoenix is just lifting everything up here. I think, Nathanius, at this point, we need to ask if Puck is ready to play a PvP, but actually, oh, never mind. I thought it was going to turn around for a second. Too many probes lost, though, at this point.
So many Immortals. The fourth one actually came in during that fight.
Yeah.
XYZ is going to bring everything again. He has a Templar, but all it can really do is feedback, and that's it. He feedbacks the Phoenix. Need no more lift up. There's a cannon here in the mineral line of the natural, which is really all he's got to bank on here. And XYZ trying to hold us off with the Zealots.
The cannon actually has 5 kills on it. It's actually been incredibly effective.
It's a force field off
the
Immortals. He kills off one of them. And these sentries with the cannon are trying to take out the last Immortal with this force, but not enough. Wow.
Oh, man. So the big question right now is, Puck, who hates PvP, is he ready for this?
Not only is Puck ready to play this guy, but is Puck ready to potentially, well, not potentially, he has to, if he wants to win this match, he has to reverse all-kill Quantic, who's got 2 more Koreans at the very least in the bank.
Yeah. Not a good situation for Puck, but he does at least have the map pick on his side, so he's got that much going for him, but realistically, I don't know. He went toe-to-toe with Maxed. I know he didn't come out ahead in the very end, but he had some amazing PvP games for WCS. As much as he might hate PvP and probably wallow in self-pity thinking he's no good at it or whatever, I think Puck's got some really solid PvP under his belt, and I think he might be able to do this. He is, of course, as you said, the last hope of Root, so he has to do it.